You've probably heard someone proudly claim, "I only sleep 5 hours and still wake up energized," while you sleep a full 8 and still feel like you got hit by a truck. This difference isn't magic, it's psychology and brain science. The real secret isn't how many hours you sleep, but how efficiently your brain restores itself during the night. Your mind has specific restoration patterns, and if you optimize them, you can sleep fewer hours and still wake up motivated, alert, and fully charged. Let's break down the psychological principles behind this and how they can completely transform your mornings. 1. Quality versus quantity. Psychology makes it clear that the human brain values sleep quality far more than the total number of hours spent in bed. What truly matters is how efficiently your sleep cycles function, not simply how long you lie down. Sleep researchers emphasize that the brain restores itself through cycles of about 90 minutes, each containing several phases, but the two most important are deep sleep and REM sleep. Deep sleep handles the physical side of recovery, repairing tissues, reinforcing the immune system, and regulating vital hormones. REM sleep, on the other hand, is where your brain performs emotional processing, memory consolidation, and creative enhancement. When these two phases occur in healthy, uninterrupted patterns, even a shorter night of sleep can leave you feeling recharged and mentally sharp. The problem begins when these cycles are constantly interrupted. Modern life introduces dozens of small disruptions, from buzzing notifications and stress-induced overthinking to stimulant-heavy diets and excessive late-night screen exposure. Each interruption forces the brain to restart its descent into deep or REM sleep, preventing it from completing a full restorative cycle. This means you might technically sleep for 7 or 8 hours, yet only experience a small fraction of the restorative stages your brain actually needs. Over time, these disruptions accumulate, causing grogginess, irritability, difficulty focusing, and a feeling of waking up tired, despite seemingly adequate sleep. Psychologists describe this condition as fragmented sleep, a state in which your body rests, but your mind never enters the sustained recovery modes required to fully reset. In fragmented sleep, the brain can't complete its nightly tasks, repairing emotional fatigue, stabilizing mood, organizing memories, and restoring cognitive energy. As a result, someone who sleeps fewer hours but completes full sleep cycles may wake up far more refreshed than someone who sleeps longer but experiences constant interruptions. This explains why optimizing sleep quality is often far more powerful than simply increasing sleep duration. When your brain can complete its cycles without interference, even shorter nights can feel deeply restorative. 2. Circadian rhythm and consistency. Another major factor that psychology emphasizes is consistency, because irregular sleep patterns throw your brain's internal systems into disarray. Your circadian rhythm, the biological clock that governs your energy levels, hunger, body temperature, and sleepiness, thrives on predictability. When you go to sleep at different times every night, your brain loses its ability to anticipate when it should start winding down. It doesn't know when to release melatonin, the hormone responsible for making you feel sleepy, nor when to raise cortisol levels in the morning to help you wake up alert. This lack of rhythm creates internal chaos, leading to mornings where you feel foggy, heavy, and unmotivated, even if you technically slept enough. When your sleep schedule is constantly shifting, the body struggles to synchronize its biological processes. Hormone production becomes inconsistent, digestion becomes irregular, and your cognitive functions, such as attention, memory, and emotional regulation, begin to decline. Over time, this inconsistency trains your brain to remain in a state of uncertainty, making it harder to fall asleep quickly and harder to wake up with energy. People who sleep at random hours often describe feeling jet-lagged, without ever boarding a plane, and this is exactly what's happening internally. Your circadian rhythm functions like a time zone, and every time you change your bedtime, it's as if you're dragging your body into a new one. But when you commit to a stable sleep schedule, for example, sleeping at 11 p.m. and waking at 6 a.m. every single day, your brain begins to recognize the pattern and adjust accordingly. With enough consistency, it learns exactly when to start producing melatonin, when to lower your heart rate, and when to activate the systems responsible for morning alertness. This predictability allows you to fall asleep faster, enter deeper sleep stages, and wake up naturally without relying on alarms or caffeine. It's essentially teaching your brain to trust your routine instead of forcing it to adapt to chaos. A consistent schedule becomes a psychological anchor that stabilizes your energy, sharpens your focus, and boosts your motivation from the moment you wake up. Before continuing, if you are a content creator or want to start making money on YouTube, check out Gia Media. They take care of everything for you, including scripting, editing, titles, and thumbnails. It's 16 videos per month for only $480. you just bring the idea, and they grow your channel for you. If you're interested, leave a comment and I'll send you the link. 3. The 90-minute rule and PRE sleep reset. To wake up energized on fewer hours of sleep, one of the most important principles is avoiding interruptions in your natural sleep cycles. Your body moves through cycles of roughly 90 minutes, and each one has stages that gradually lead you from light sleep into deep sleep, then into REM. When you wake up in the middle of one of these cycles, especially during deep sleep, your brain is yanked out of restoration mode before it's ready. This creates sleep inertia, the sluggish, foggy state where your thoughts feel slow and your body feels heavy. That miserable, "I can't wake up" feeling doesn't come from sleeping too little, but from waking up at the wrong moment. By aligning your sleep with full 90-minute cycles such as 4.5, 6, or 7.5 hours, you allow your brain to complete its work and rise to the surface naturally, making it much easier to feel awake even with fewer total hours. Understanding this cycle-based approach also helps shift your mindset from sleep more to sleep smarter. When your sleep ends at the completion of a cycle, your body is already transitioning out of REM and preparing for wakefulness. This means your nervous system is more responsive, your cognition is clearer, and your motivation is higher the moment you open your eyes. Many people who swear they feel amazing on 5 or 6 hours aren't necessarily gifted. They've simply learned to wake at the end of a cycle instead of in the middle of one. By timing your alarm around these natural rhythms, you allow biology to support you rather than fight against it, and the difference can feel dramatic. Equally important is what happens before you fall asleep. Psychology refers to this as cognitive offloading, the process of signaling to your brain that it's time to shift out of problem-solving mode and into rest mode. This is where the 3-2-1 power down method becomes incredibly effective. 3 hours before bed, avoid heavy meals so your digestive system isn't working overtime. 2 hours before, stop tasks that require thinking, planning, or decision-making. And 1 hour before, disconnect from screens, because blue light suppresses melatonin and keeps your brain alert when it should be winding down. Replacing late-night scrolling with calm activities like stretching, reading, or journaling lowers mental noise and transitions your brain into a relaxed alpha-wave state. With this routine, instead of forcing yourself to sleep, you naturally glide into it, and that alone makes fewer hours feel surprisingly restorative. 4. Morning sunlight and natural dopamine. When it comes to waking up motivated, the first 10 minutes after rising are far more powerful than most people realize, because this short window sets the tone for your brain's chemistry and energy levels for the entire day. Getting direct morning sunlight, even for just a few minutes, triggers a surge of serotonin, the neurotransmitter responsible for mood, motivation, and focus, helping your mind snap into alertness without relying on caffeine. Stepping outside before checking your phone also prevents distractions from hijacking your attention and lets your circadian rhythm reset naturally, signaling to your internal clock that the day has begun. For an even stronger boost, incorporating light movement or a splash of cold water activates the sympathetic nervous system, releasing dopamine and norepinephrine, the chemicals that fuel drive, discipline, and mental sharpness. Together, these simple habits create a powerful physiological shift that transforms your morning from sluggish to unstoppable. People who sleep fewer hours and still feel amazing aren't superhuman, they're using psychology to their advantage. They respect their sleep cycles, follow consistent rhythms, reduce mental overload, and give their brain the signals it needs to recover efficiently. The truth is, sleep isn't laziness. It's the fuel for focus, emotional balance, creativity, and decision-making. You don't need more hours, you need smarter hours. When your brain is truly rested, your motivation skyrockets, your mornings change, and your productivity becomes unstoppable.